get that in the background here, if we can. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. And thank you all for coming in here. If anybody does come in here, I got my tincture over here. Shauna Allah, salute my sister. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. A little bit of this. The arthritis is really cranking on these shoulders in this weather. It's snowing out there. And that stuff is like doing a shot of 151. Ooh, rough. This is the way I do my marijuana these days. No more smoking, no more of that irritation down here in the lungs. I make myself this green dragon tincture. It does the job. Every one of those squirts I do is a cc. It's equivalent to 20 milligrams of THC. And I'll tell you, it's what they call lipotechnology. You put it under your tongue. You let it absorb through your through the receptors in your mouth, and it's a lipo delivery system. It doesn't have to get degraded through the stomach acids, or you don't have to wait for it to kick in. And 21st century over here, man. And your 21st century, Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Excuse me while I honk that schnoz in these dollar store Kleenex of mine. Enjoying some ice cold water out there. I highly advise anybody out there to stay hydrated. Especially if you're doing that tincture. Marion Brown, salute my brother. Nice to see you in here, man. I'm going to have my friend Nate Mr. Miller come in here in a little bit, man. I talked to him a while ago, man, and what a guy, bro. What a guy. LT, my man, salute, bro. Thank you for coming by. This man was a Cruiserweight champion of the world, WBA Cruiserweight champion of the world in 1995. He knocked out Olin Norris. I'm sure you've heard of Olin Norris, brother of Terry Norris. And this dude's Philadelphia, bro. Philly born. He boxed in Philly. He resides in Philly. Had over 40 professional fights. Never been knocked out. Never been stopped, man. This is going to be a nice little talking to. I'm expecting to bop in here. I dropped a few invites out there. This is tincture, Shauna. A little bit different than oil. It's I think the oil you smoke and you do dabs and stuff like that. This, what I do is I have this machine. It's called a magical butter maker. Magical butter. That's what it's called. Very weird thing. And I use the 190 proof grain alcohol, the moonshine. Put the weed in there. It's got almost like a little blending system in there. Very, very cool operation. And I think I see my brother Nate Miller crawling in the back room over here, man. Let's see if we got the microphone and stuff working. I just met this dude today. I talked to him today. I called my friend Brian Robinson, who handles the business affairs for Tim Witherspoon, on Saturday, and he was at Muhammad Ali's camp in Pennsylvania. And they had a weekend there. It was a real cool thing. A lot of fighters were there. And man, anyway, Brian says you got to talk to Nate. He first asked me, "You ever heard of this guy Nate Miller?" I said, "Nate, Mr. Miller." I said, "Have I ever heard of him, bro?" I said, "That's a former world champ." I said, "He fought everybody. He's got a resume like." He says, "Well, he's in here now, man, and he's a cool guy, and he's into the music, and sounds like he's right up your alley." I says, I know Nate Miller. I've seen so many of his fights, and this is a true G. Skywalker, shout out. Thank you for coming by. Anyway, he's in the back, man. Let me bring him on. Let's see if we got our volume working. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to really make sure this music is not going to disturb us at all. But anyway, man, let me introduce you, the former WBA Cruiserweight champ of the world, my friend Nate Mr. Miller. Nate, what's happening, brother?
Hi, all is well. Well is all.
Oh, man, and the microphone's working really cool tonight too, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hey, You want to tell these cats who you are, bro? Because if anybody doesn't know who this man is, man, then you've been under a rock for the last 25 years, bro. This was a cruiserweight champ, man. He's got a resume like a who's who of boxing. Nate, why don't you can do a little better than me. Tell them who you are, my brother, please.
How y'all doing? Nate, Mr. Miller, former WBA cruiserweight champ of the world, 31, 9, 27 knockouts. The 18th greatest cruiserweight of all time. And I fought names that most of y'all probably heard: Dwight Kwawi, Tommy Hearns, Al Coles, Fabrice Tiozo, just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
Right.
Now you started. You're from Philadelphia, right? That's the fighting capital of the world, brother. Am I close to that or what?
Yeah, one of them. They're probably in the top 2 or 3.
Okay, now you fought a lot at probably the most famous venue that I've ever heard of, the most intimate venue, the Blue Horizon. How was it at the Blue Horizon?
It was pretty cool. I went undefeated at the Blue.
That you fought your first fight there, and I'm going through my box rec here. You fought almost 13 fights there, bro.
About 15. Yeah, I went like 15 and 0. 15, 16 and 0.
And then you traveled. You were a road warrior. You went to France.
Ireland. Yeah, I went overseas about 4 times.
And let me shout out my brother True Media, who's in the house, man. Andre Rodriguez, thank you, bro, for coming in here, man. Tupac, my man, Tupac 13. I got Nate and Mr. Miller in here, man. If you guys know anything about boxing in the 90s and the 2000s, bro, this is royalty. One of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. You know, one of the fights I remember, man, was your fight with Burt Cooper.
Yeah, the late Smoking Burt Cooper. Yeah,
Smoking Burt Cooper. How did that fight go, bro? That was 6 rounds. You won your first NABF cruiserweight title in that fight too, right?
Yes, sir. In '89. Well, we had sparred Burt Cooper, so I kind of knew his style anyway. After sparring him, yeah, that's why I was able to win the title.
Hey, how was that sparring in Philadelphia? You get some badasses in those gyms or what?
Yes, sir. Prince Charles Williams was one of the light heavyweight champions I sparred with. He hit me so hard, I thought the building was falling down, saw stars, but he didn't know that, though. Andre McCall broke my jaw at the Blue Horizon.
Former world champion, man.
Yeah.
They don't fool around in Philadelphia, bro. They don't fool around there, man. Why don't you tell us a couple more Philadelphia gym stories? Because, man, I love those. I like those nitty gritty gym stories, man.
Well, I'll tell you one that's kind of funny. It wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. I was in there training, and I was sparring a big guy. He was a bodybuilder. He was probably about 50 pounds bigger than me. He was cut. He wasn't fat. He was big, but he's a big guy. So we're sparring in the gym, you know, and he said, well, take it easy. So when we come out to start boxing, easy, that's an understatement. He was trying to tear my head off, and I was talking through the mouthpiece to my trainer. I said, he's trying to tear my effing head off. So we continued to box, and I stayed away from getting hit with something significant. So what happened, I wound up hitting him and cutting him over his eye, and they had to stop the fight. And they looked him over and they said, oh, he could continue. I was like, yes. That was one happy day for me. And I was sparring a guy that was a little faster than me. I was a pro, he was a pro, but he was making me look kind of embarrassed. So I was happy when that sparring session was over. But, you know, I had some good days in the gym, had some bad days. I might have been knocked down in my career in sparring and in actual competition. I might have been knocked down at least 4 times out of 17 years of boxing. Never stopped in actual competition. In sparring, a guy I used to spar with pretty much, he hit me and kind of dazed me. So his trainer said, "Yo, Nate, you all right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "No, that was it. That was the only time I ever got stopped in the gym out of 17 years of boxing. I've been down one fight. One fight I was down. Dude hit me so hard. That's when I lost the NABF title against James Waring. He hit me so hard, I flew right on my face. But I saw stars when I got up, but I was able to continue for 11 more rounds, even though I lost the title. But being in shape, that got me through without being stopped. And usually people, when they land on their face, that's usually lights out.
Oh yeah. When you get knocked on your ass, you can usually get back up. But when you go head face down, elbows up, man, that's usually the end of it. That's usually the end of it. Hey, my buddy Joe out there. Shout out to Joe. He's from Ireland. He's definitely, he knows his stuff in boxing. He's got a question for you, Nate. He says, "Is it true that you took your wife and your girlfriend to the Fabrice Turizo fight?"
Well, it may not have been true. Somebody popped up unexpectedly.
Wrong place, wrong time, eh, brother?
Yes, sir.
Now, you and Thomas Hearns, you ended up fighting in Manchester.
Yes, sir.
How did that work out, brother? How come that wasn't a fight that was Vegas? Because that seems like it's Vegas made. And I guess England right now is a hotbed for boxing, but it wasn't so much back then. How did you end up over in England with Tommy Hearns?
Well, Tommy and him, we signed a contract to fight, and for some reason I had to lose 15 pounds in 4 days, which was impossible. So when I got over there, I trained. I couldn't really eat. I really couldn't drink water. I had to soak in a sauna, and I was so weak. The day of the fight, we weighed in, and my trainers had to hold me. They had to hold both arms so I could stand up. When I got on the scale, I never made the weight, but even after a good fight, I think Tommy should have knocked me out. Even though I was weak as a lamb, I was able to go 12 rounds. You can see that fight. You can pull that fight up on the internet and watch it. Even though I was weak as a lamb, he should have knocked me out, but he told my trainer, he said, "Oh man, that Nate Miller could hit, he could punch." But even after the fight, even after going over there, they tried to jip us out our money. And my trainer had to put his gorilla suit on. So they gave us a suitcase full of money. After all of that, they tried to rob us. But it didn't happen.
Is boxing as shady as people say it is? Because I mean, that story right there, the gorilla suit, not getting paid, a suitcase full of money, right. Is that common? Because it seems like today, I don't know. It's not. It's not that. It seems like boxing's a dirty business. People, you say I'm a boxing fan, they kind of look a little bit funny at you these days. Was it? Is it always been as dirty and grimy as it is, where you're not getting paid and they're It's
well, it was twice I didn't get paid. I fought here in Philadelphia at a park. And when I didn't get paid, it was only $9,000, but I went to Jersey looking for the trainer. I sat outside his door looking for him, but he never came out. So I lost $9,000 there. I went to Italy, and $15,000 I never got paid from that fight. After I lost, but I never got paid. So it is grimy. I mean, yeah, it's rough. It's a rough deal.
Are you watching boxing today? Are you seeing what's going on?
Yeah, I still look at it occasionally and go to them sometime.
Like, yeah. What did you think of that Jake Paul fight on Sunday? I mean, the dude made $30 million, and man, he couldn't even spar with you, bro.
$30 million.
$30 million.
Wow.
That's Saudi money. I don't know. Well, we know where it's coming from. It's coming from the oil barons, the kings, the sheiks. But man, they're just. Money is king. Money is king in boxing. But right now, these guys are making $7 million figures. They're turning down multi-million-dollar contracts. It seems like it's nuts. I don't know where this money's coming from. I don't know how long it's going to be there. Did you ever encounter crazy money like that? And when you were in the game?
No, what happened was, I think the last fight, I think was against Tommy Hearns or Orland. Don King said, if you win, no, it was against Fabrice Tielzo. He said, if you win, the next fight will be $750,000. Unfortunately, I didn't win against Fabrice, but hey, yeah, money was out there.
Was Don King? Did he ever do you wrong? Was he up and up? And wait, let me shout out the people that came in here too, man, because I appreciate that so much. All you cats stopping in here, man. We got Nate Mr. Miller in here, former WBA cruiserweight champ of the world. Shauna, thank you for coming by. I already shouted you out, man. Reigning woman, thank you for coming by. I see my brother Mad Chad in here, man. I see Cassandra in here. Hey, Mad Chad stopped in. Mad Chad's a friend of mine. He went down to Philadelphia with me when we saw the legends. That's when we met Tim, Marlon Starling, Sugar Ray Seals. I'm surprised you went down there, Nate. But anyway, Mad Chad's in here. I'm going to bring him up here, man. He's a big fan. He's an OG like yourself and me. So Nate Mr. Miller, this is my brother Mad Chad.
Hey, man.
Shout out champ, bro. I mean, a warrior. I mean, what it takes to be a cruiserweight champ. It ain't nothing. It's something I wish I could have done because I think I would have fought at cruiserweight. And I remember you fighting, Nate. And shout out to you. You still got the teeth. You still got your barons. You know what I mean? And,
yes, sir.
And just from what you've done, you're not at that Hagel level. You're not at the Sugar Ray Leonard level. But like I say, there's so many of these.
What do you mean he's not? This man's a world champion.
I'm just saying, in my eyes, I'm just no disrespect here. No disrespect. I'm just saying from watching the fights like Larry Bird and fucking, it's just different. I'm just saying, Nate, no disrespect.
$1 million fighters. That's what he's man.
Nate's a killer. Nate, when you were growing up, what got you into boxing? You know what I mean? As a man, that you could have did other sports. You could have went to fucking football. You could have probably played baseball. You could have been Dave Wingate. You know what I mean?
Well, let me stop you right there. The only reason I got into boxing because one day me and a friend of mine was walking from a certain part of Philadelphia up to Germantown, and I saw some guys in there throwing some punches. So I walked in, and the rest they say is history. I introduced myself, and come to find out, the guy that was training me, we were related through marriage. His family member married somebody in my family, so I didn't find that out until about 5 years later that we were related. But that's how I got started. Only because I saw guys in there throwing punches. I knew I was a tough guy. I knew I could take a punch, and that's how I got started. If it was no such thing as a cruiserweight, because as an amateur, I fought as a heavyweight. I was the smallest heavyweight.
How many amateur fights you have, Nate? Did you have any amateur fights?
Probably about 15 to 16 amateur fights.
Because Tim Witherspoon had how many, Bruce? Tim had fucking 2?
2 or 3, yeah. Well, Philadelphia, man, your whole life is an amateur fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had about 15, 16 fights. I was the smallest heavyweight. About 180, knocking out guys about 200.
You were Usyk.
I was knocking out guys 200 pounds at 180, and I was number 5 in the country at the time.
And what year is this, Nate? What year are we talking?
84.
Yeah, I'm a freshman in high school because that's when I was, following sports pretty big, reading the Ring magazine at Joe's Smoke Shop, just paying attention to Nate Miller from Philly because Philly's a gravitational fucking pull like Stephen Fulton, Boots Ennis. Right. You know what I mean? You just always pull towards Philly because it's a Cuba of boxing in America. It's a Mexico of America. Like Philadelphia, yeah, shout out to Texas. They got the champions. Shout out to Los Angeles, New York. But there's something to be said. It ain't just Rocky Balboa. There's something to be said about the Nate Millers of the fucking world of the sport and the promotion and just the beauty of the sport. That keeps it alive. It's the unknown heroes that keeps this sport alive, believe me. It ain't the Floyd Mayweathers, it's the Nate Millers that keep this fucking sport alive.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Nate, I wanted to ask you, man, Dwight Mohammed Kwawi, He was one of my favorites growing up, man. How tough was he in the ring? Was he as strong and did he have that Philly shell, impenetrable? How tough was Kwawi when you fought him, man?
Well, it was tough to hit him upside his head real good, just like a bee. You know how a bee be right there and you swat it, and you can't hit it.
Yeah,
at his age, it was still difficult for me to hit him, but I got enough punches in for him to retire after the fight at the Blue Horizon.
No, he had a fantastic career, and that I think that was a Tuesday night fight at the Blue Horizon too, man.
A Tuesday night fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I think boxing misses so much.
What year was that fight, Bruce? Because I like to put it in.
That was in 1992.
Right. So, oh my God, how long was your career, Nate? From your professional career.
Probably like 17 years.
Jeez.
And you're a police chief too, weren't you, my brother? Were you a policeman, Nate?
No, I work for the housing authority. I'm retired from the housing authority. 16
okay. I was watching some of your fights today. I was watching the one on Showtime. Who the hell was it, man? Who did you fight on Showtime? You defended your title.
Probably the Russian guy might have been the Russian guy.
No, it was it was James. It was, I think, I'm going to look it up because it was a good fight. Well, it was a one-sided fight. You knocked him down in the first round, and it was in Ireland. That's what it was. You remember that fight? Now it was in Ireland.
I can't think of the name.
Bukaba Sango. I can't pronounce the name.
Yeah, I can't remember right this second.
Yeah, in fact, that was but anyway, man, just a great career. Because I'm going through here and I'm seeing these names jump at me. How about Alfred Ice Cole, man? Ice Cole was a tough guy. He beat you, and then you fought him again for the title.
Yeah, he beat me. He said I was the hardest puncher. Yeah, he said I was the hardest puncher he fought, and we both had similar styles, that herky jerky style. But he came to fight. Both of us came to fight. He was in shape.
Hey, shout out to Deliverance Boy in here. Nick M's Classic Boxing Channel. If you want to see any classic fights, man, this man has hundreds of fights on his channel. Great fights. He lets me use the footage. He's a real historian. Nick M's Classic Boxing Channel.
And Nate, who was the toughest fighter? 17 years. Some amateur fights. Some street fights. Who was the toughest dude that you ever? When the bell rang, that after the first round, you're like, this dude is a freaking hold. What am I dealing with here?
Al Coles, I have to say, Al Coles was the toughest because we had the same style. Well, you gotta look at my record: 31-9 with 27 knockouts.
Heavy-handed.
Yeah, exactly. He was the toughest. He was the toughest.
Never stopped.
Yeah, never stopped.
I mean, this is now. Go ahead, Matt Chad.
Nate, when you were coming up with this, did you have any problem? Because you were a heavyweight. Was the scale ever an issue to make that cruiserweight weight? Did you ever have to work to get to the weight?
No, I always stayed in shape anyway. I'm glad they had a such thing as a cruiserweight because I would probably never been a fighter. Even though I could punch like a heavyweight, I just didn't want to take that chance. But I'm glad Holyfield. Thanks to Holyfield, they came up with a weight.
Well, were there any fighters out there that you didn't fight that you wanted to fight that you missed that you should have fought?
Well, actually, no, and they tossed around a few names like Tony Lights Out. They tossed around Holyfield. That never happened. Holyfield never happened. James Toney, that never happened. They talked about it, but it never happened.
That's life-changing money fights, man.
Yeah.
That's the way boxing goes, man. right place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Now, when you went down to Ollie's camp last weekend, that looked like a really, really great event, and these are the kind of things I like to see happen. Was anything happened down there? Anything that moved you down there? I mean, being in there with the greatest of them all, Muhammad Ali, being in his down in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, that must have been an awesome weekend, bro.
It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I saw all the rocks on there, the rocks with names and stuff.
Nate, when you were fighting, where did you do most of your fighting? Were you a hometown Philly fighter, or did you travel abroad? Like, what was your biggest fight? Like, where did you really feel like, Elvis, or, Prince stepping into the ring? Like, where was that rock star? The Saudi Arabian treatment. What was your biggest fight where you just felt like, wow, this is something special? Where you just look back on and go, wow.
Tommy Hearns was the biggest.
Hitman Hearns, yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest fight.
The
biggest.
And what year again? What year is this? What year did you fight the Hitman?
What was that? 2010, I think.
That was next to your last fight, wasn't it? That was
for Orlando.
No, not quite. That was in 1999.
Like it was Prince. 1990. We're gonna party like it's 1999. That atmosphere must have been insane, Nate. Walking in, fighting Hearns. You know what I mean? Just at that stage of your career, leading up to that fight, fighting a killer. Fighting with fucking one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. And you had the opportunity to walk in the ring with him, bro. Shout out to Champ Miller.
It was just another day.
Nate, I got another question from the historian Joe out there. He says, is it true that that the first guy that you gave a loss to punched a window and bled to death?
No, actually, Sariki Sonogo lost. I mean, I lost to him, but I don't think that had nothing to do. He might have had other issues going on. He punched through a window and cut his vein. But he lost. I lost the decision to him. Sariki Sonogo. Yeah.
Wow, good stuff, bro. And I understand you're a musician too. A musician. You play the guitar.
Yeah, I got about 8 instruments I mess around with, but I play the electric. I play the electric guitar, the most stuff.
What are those instruments?
Keyboard, harmonica, violin, bass guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and what else?
Oh, bro,
triangle. Triangle.
You don't have to say anymore because I know in my old age I can't remember things like it's embarrassing sometimes, and I want to apologize for that because there's so much in
music. Nate, what was your ring walk song? Did you have a favorite ring walk song?
Eye the Tiger. That would be one.
Philadelphia Rocky. Let's go.
There's no stopping us now.
Right. Nice.
Larry Holmes' song.
McFadden and Whitehead.
That was, yeah, man.
Music is like a PED. Nate, was there any PEDs around at that time? Because Victor Conte, he's got these snack fighters. Steroids is a part of the game. You look at the Olympics, you look at professional sports at all. From football to it's just part of the game. Getting a leg up. When you were in the game, did you ever have to deal? Did Victor Conte, Belko, anybody ever offer you something to say, you want to get that extra little gas?
I had gas in my right hand.
You had that stone. The hand's of stone.
Yeah, I didn't.
There's a lot of that cheating going on. It's big time, with.
I probably wouldn't use them anyway because I don't like drugs. Most likely I wouldn't use it anyway.
Amen.
I don't like the feeling being high anyway, so that wouldn't have been for me anyway.
All the athletes I talked to, the successful ones, they told me that staying away from the alcohol and the drugs that's the key, because we've seen that bring down so many fighters. And plus, from the area you fought in, did you see a lot of fighters damaged because of like the crack epidemic, the drugs on the street, man? It's heartbreaking. But you firsthand, did you see anything like that going on?
Not in plain view. No, I saw guys that be drunk when they're not fighting at functions and stuff. I see them like that, but not in the ring. Not in the ring. The ring.
In that discipline it takes to fight at that level. When you're going in with Tommy Hearns, when you're fighting those fighters, you're not partying. You like that camp has to be so intense, Nate.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
definitely.
sacrifice that you went through, that hard work,
Definitely.
did you skip a lot of rope and did you do a lot of road work? Did you skip rope and road work?
Yeah, I did what I had to do. I mean, I ate a lot of junk food, but I still did what I had to do.
Because you had that power in that right hand. You had the equalizer.
Yeah.
Now, when you came into boxing, who were the guys that you looked up to, bro? Were there any? I mean, dude, I love Muhammad Ali. I'll admit that, man. I'm a fanboy for Ali, even to Marvin Hagler to an extent. But were there any guys that really gravitated you towards the game?
Yep. I like the two favorite fighters all time that I like was Marvin Hagler and Aaron Pryor. The Hawk. The marvelous one.
And that's another thing too. We talk about multi-titleists today. We just had Badu Jack just became a three-time cruiserweight champion. Became a cruiserweight champion. It doesn't have the ring that it does back in the days of Wilfred Benitez winning the 3 titles and Alexis Aguayo. Today it seems like there's more multi-titleists than there are people who won 1 belt.
Right.
Hey, my brother Marion Brown wants to know if you could fight one fighter in history, who would it be? And shout out to that one guy Houses, that one guy Bones. I'm sorry, bro. Multi-syllable names get me mixed up. But yeah, he wants to know if there was anybody in history that you'd like to match up with.
In what weight?
In what weight, man? I'd say your heavyweight, cruiserweight, the 200-pound weight, the weight you're at. Somebody who you would really like to get in the ring with, man. Somebody who I'm not even going to
light heavyweight, 175. We'll get him down to light heavyweight with Victor Conte.
I don't know if we could get him down to light heavyweight.
I couldn't get down. Couldn't get the light heavy, but I wouldn't mind fighting the other guys like Washington or what's the Spanish? Washington. He was a cruiserweight, and you had the other guy. What's the Puerto Rican guy? The tall guy.
Oh, Carlos Sugar de Leon.
Him. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to fought one of them, but they never made it happen. I'm sure I could have knocked out Washington or Carlos de Leon and probably a couple others in that weight at that time, but they never called me up.
Did you have good management, or if you could do it again, would you do it different?
Oh, we had like a father and son relationship. We my management was very good, very. In fact, I retired. When I retired, that was it. When we departed, that I stuck with them to the end. I didn't cheat on them. They didn't. It was, if I wasn't training, I'd tell them. They would tell me, hey, they ain't gonna come in. We had like I said, father and son relationship. We was up and up with each other. Yeah.
Now, after boxing, did you find yourself lost, looking for something to do, wanting to get back in the game? What's keeping you busy now, my brother?
Oh, I still help out with the children. I still go up to the gym and help out.
Nice.
And I still post pictures on Facebook. And I'm still involved. Still involved.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And as far as the fights you'd like to see happen today, are there any fighters that you think are special out there?
Not right now. Well, I like to see Ennis and Crawford fight, which probably never happened. That's the most important one to me, to see if Ennis is the real deal.
Shout out my brother Just Do Boxing. Yeah, Philadelphia's own Bruce Ennis. You must know him pretty well, bro.
Well, I don't know him well. Well, I know his dad because I sparred with his dad like once or twice in my life of boxing. Yeah, but
yeah,
I don't.
man, we all want to see that fight. We all want to see, and the fight everybody's been waiting for, that welterweight fight. Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. You think that's ever going to happen?
I don't think that'll happen. No, I don't think so.
Why is that, man? Because that's a unification, undisputed, dude. That's as important as Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns were back in the day. That's like Oscar De La Hoya.
You know why it's not going to happen? Because Spence is leaving that weight. Spence is moving up.
Well, his next fight, he's supposed to fight Keith Thurman at 154, I believe, isn't it?
I think so, but I think he'll beat Thurman though. And
then the idea was to drop down to back down to 147 and have the unification with Crawford. I mean, that I've been waiting for that fight, I think, for the last 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years.
Keep on waiting.
I don't want to wait. I grew up in your generation, man. I was fed filet mignon every week on a sizzling platter, and now they're giving me bologna sandwiches, but I'm still eating them. I'm still choking them down.
Keep on waiting for that fight.
What fights do you think will be made in the near future? I mean, I'm looking forward to Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. How about you? You think that's going to be a good fight?
Yeah, now that's possible. That's more possible than Spence and Crawford fighting.
It's already assigned. It's already signed and sealed. It's already they got a date and everything. It's in April.
So there you go. So that's most likely to happen.
I think that's going to be a good fight, man. Can you say what you want about Ryan Garcia, but he's a tough kid, and I don't think anybody south of the heavyweight division hits as hard as Tank Davis.
Right. He should go along.
Do you go to fights anymore? Do you ever go to fights anymore?
Yes, I still do.
The Philadelphia fights, or do you go to Vegas and see some of the money fights?
No, I'm not traveling over there. Nope, not traveling to Vegas. I watch them on television.
So, and what do you think about these pay-per-views? They're charging so much money to see these mediocre fights today. That never happened back in the day.
It's ridiculous. People want to see them. People want to be entertained. But I'm one that don't want to be entertained that much to pay what they want. I'd rather go somewhere I can see it for $5, pay $5, look at it at somebody's house or at a bar or something. Yep. Because
I think those pay-per-views, that's going to be the downfall of boxing. Everybody's streaming them on. Everybody knows how to get a free stream on the things, right. but yet they're charging $75. I know if I was paying $75 for all the pay-per-views I wanted to watch, I think my wife would lock me in the bedroom and take away my credit card, because it's just ridiculous, man. It really is. It's really crazy. But hey, boxing is boxing, and boxing goes on. And I still love the sport, man. I love talking to guys like you on here. I appreciate you giving me your time. Anything you want to say before we end this stream, brother?
Well, I'll be on YouTube soon, talking and playing my guitar, and that's really about it for now. I'll probably be doing other stuff. I'm in a couple movies already.
A couple of movies. Tell me about that, man.
Triangle Slave. That's something like a gangster. I play a bodyguard. I get shot in the side, and I got a few little speaking parts, and I'm in a movie called The Nail. Just a little sparring. I get knocked down and a little sparring in hitting a heavy bag in the gym.
Oh, great stuff, man. So I mean, you look great you look great right now. How old are you, Nate?
I'll be 59 in August.
Wow, 59, man. You look
I
like you can
mean,
go out and
no. I'm just teasing. I'll be 60 in August.
60. Hey,
Yeah.
60, 59. You're younger than I am, bro, and you look half my age. You look really good. Life has been really good to you, brother. It really has, man. And thank you so much for your time on here.
Yes,
I'm going to check those movies out. You look like you're having a great time in retirement over here, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really a pleasure to meet you, bro. And
thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping in and joining me, bro. I appreciate your time.
Y'all be blessed.
You too, brother.
We'll talk again. We'll talk again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. Peace. God bless.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. I thank you guys. That was my brother Nate Miller, former WBA cruiserweight champ of the world. You, Lady Love, salute, sister. Thank you for coming by. All you have to do is go through his go through your boxing rec and just check out the opponents he fought. Go look at some of his fights. It was just a cool thing. I called him up this afternoon. He offered to come on here, man. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It's what I like to do. Like to talk to some of these legends and bro, we bring them on. We ask them whatever questions may come up, and so shout out to him, man. If anybody else I can't say now any questions because Nate's gone. But anyway, man, thank you so much for coming in here. I appreciate the thumbs up. Anybody that watches it on the repeat, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This is Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. I'm signing out for now. Thank you so much, and God bless.